What is up, Defects? We are talking 2022 on this episode of Defects Discuss. We got a bunch of topics regarding comic books. Shocker, right? Talking about all 22. We're each going to take a little topic. We're going to talk real quick about it. And there's going to be some good stuff here. So we're just going to get right into this. So I'm going to start it off by talking about comic book prices and where they're going to be for 2022. All right. So 2021, we saw unprecedented prices, right? Craziness that happened because of, the return of the MCU, the pandemic. I think all of that and obviously new investors putting new money into the hobby. It was a perfect storm and things went absolutely crazy. While prices came down, I think I think everybody can agree that a new floor was set. Okay, for a lot of books, probably the entire market. Okay, but for 2022, what's going to happen? Well, none of us have a crystal ball, but one thing that got me thinking was the new tax laws that people have been talking about with some of these pay services like PayPal, Venmo, what have you. And I think that what's going to happen there is, I think you could see a little bit of some scare. I think you could see some people that are holding books getting a little scared and not sure what to do. So you may have pretty good luck in person at shows with cash in hand finding good deals. This could lead to a little bit of a downward trend for comic book prices in 2022. All right, this is complete speculation. We have no idea. We're early on in 2022, right? We have no idea what's going to happen. But I don't know if we're going to be able to continue just this constant upward trend that we saw in 2021. Like I said, even though we did come back down, I think everybody's probably assuming with the return of, we're going to start getting a lot of shows, a lot of movies, that we're going to get this straight back up for a lot of the key books. I don't know if that's going to be the case. I'm not sitting here saying that, hey, we're doomed. The comic book hobby is doomed. But I do feel like that the new tax law could have some implications on prices. So if you're smart, bring cash to shows, buy your big keys in person, because I have a feeling people are going to want to move books in person for cash in hand. That's just one aspect. We could talk about this forever. We're just going to try to gloss over some of these topics and get everybody's opinion real quick. So around the horn, Jay, I'll start with you. What do you think? You think I'm wrong? I'm right? What do you, quick?
No, I thought it was a great point. 2022 equals 1099, apparently. So I think, like you said, we're going to see more new vendors at shows. Listen, the market has changed. The hobby has changed. You have people watching YouTube channels on comic book content all the time. You have Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all these different comic book, clubs where people are getting together and talking comics, which we never had in the hobby before, right? Some people like it, some people don't. It's your preference. As far as the market goes, I think it levels out a little bit, man. In 2020, we got a ton of YouTube content, right? We got a ton of social media talk about comics because it was COVID. There was no movies. There was no show. Production slowed down. Even comic book production slowed down a little bit. I think 2022 hopefully brings a leveling out. Not a burst of the bubble, but things level out. I'm hoping we get more vendors and different vendors at shows. Listen, I like the old guys, but let's get some young, fresh blood in there too. Cash in hand, cash is king. We all know that. I'll get into the speculation aspect during my segment. We'll talk about that a little bit. I think that's going to affect the pricing.
Yeah, you both make good points. Lot of different stuff. I mean, a lot of people coming back to the hobby. I'm one of those. So I was out of it for a long time. This all brought me back. So we went through a crazy time together. That kind of flooded this market now. So both make good points, and I think it's going to be a crazy 2022 because you got a lot more people involved in it, for a good reason or a bad reason. I mean, for good and bad. So everyone does it for different reasons. Collect what you like and be happy about it, and move them if you move them, keep them if you keep them. Have fun with it. But both make good points as far as the market. I think it's going to be a little bit crazy now because you got so many more people involved. So
There you go. And I mean, I like how Jay kind of brought the shows up, because how is that going to impact some of the stuff? And that's a perfect segue into what Guy wants to talk about. So, Guy Forge, take it away, brother.
Well, speaking of shows, I'm excited about how this has all affected. And we ended 2021. I think everybody ended it with Spider-Man. Let's be honest, right? Everybody was back at the movies for a little while. I don't know if we're going back again, but we were back in there for a little while, and I think it's impactful because people want to go. People want to go to the movies. People want to see the shows. I think it's a different aspect, and everybody's excited about collecting and seeing different things on screen, and maybe seeing some of the stories come out on screen, which we all, at the end of the day, love being a part of. So it's fun to see it. We got a bunch of stuff coming for 2022. Whether it's cartoons, like even the new Harley Quinn series. I think that's on season 3. I think you got Morbius, which maybe will come out. Who knows? We're hoping it's going to come. Matt's hoping it's going to come. Obviously, he's very excited about that movie. You got
Absolutely.
Miss Marvel and She-Hulk. That's supposed to come out, right? The show that's coming. I'm extremely excited, even though Jay isn't, about Black Adam. I mean, I've been excited, and I've been on board for that since day one. You have the Flash, which fingers crossed. I don't know if it's going to help or hurt DC. You got Peacemaker, which I think is out now. That's obviously a weird one, but if you're into it, I hope he does well in it, because I like John Cena. Aquaman finished filming today as we're taping this,
I heard.
so
Yep.
we're excited about that. I don't know. I'm. Listen, you got Boys season 3. Boom. We're all excited about that. I mean, that's going to be freaking
100%.
nuts. If you know anything about that, you got Thor: Love and Thunder, which everyone's sleeping on for a little while. So hey, I'm sure we're going to get back to talking about that soon, and what books to pick up for that. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I mean, that's coming too. So you got a lot of stuff, guys. And let's end it off with probably the last 3. I think that are going to be the most popular. You got Moon Knight, which everybody is banking on. That's going to be good. I really hope it's going to be good. Doctor Strange 2, and then obviously the Batman, which I think everyone is anticipating being probably the best movie of the year. I'm on board. I really am excited for that one, probably the most out of any ones I've spoken about. I'm excited for Colin Farrell. I'm excited for Pattinson. I'm excited for just every aspect of that movie. I want to see how dark it's going to get. I want to see the beginning of Batman. And, I want to be in the theater seeing it. So, fingers crossed, guys.
Go ahead, Jay. I know you got. I know. I'll let you go first, because I know. Guy just finished up with the Batman, and I know you're excited about it. So I'll let you go first, brother. Go ahead.
Guys, I think DC. I think the Batman's good. That's what I'm most excited for. I don't think I'm gonna be disappointed. It looks dark. It looks gritty. We talked about this, and even the Black Adam. If they could, if DC could follow that dark undertone, I think that's where they're successful. You know what I mean? They got away from that with Wonder Woman 2. That's why it bombed. That's why it sucked. It looks dark, man. Batman, this movie's going to be good, guys. DC needs to hit it on the head this time, and I'm pulling for them because I think their movies could be better than what Marvel's doing right now. As we talk now, Boba Fett, it's terrible, man, in my opinion. Like, I watch it, it's Star Wars, it's Boba Fett. It almost reminds me of a parody of Star Wars. Like, someone's making fun of Star Wars. I know we don't have major actors in there. You know what I mean? It's a guy that's been behind a mask doing stunts for the last 30 plus years. But it makes me nervous for Disney and Marvel.
What I'm going to say is my hope is that 2022 brings a better quality product from DC, from Marvel. All right. We know the pandemic threw a lot of plans into disarray. Okay. But maybe now that they've seen some reaction, maybe now we've seen a lot of reshoots. Don't think that was just accidental. Okay. I think they're reacting to the market a little bit, to the fan, to the numbers that came out, what people liked and what people didn't like. So now they've kind of seen what the pandemic can do to a theater experience, what it can do to your box office number. So I think they're going to learn from 2021 and have a better 2022. That's my opinion on all the shows and movies. So, all right, Jay, you talked about speculation earlier. I
Yeah.
can't wait to hear what you have to say on this.
All right, guys. So speculation for 2022. My prediction, it slows down. We've seen a trend, right? Books get hot of an announcement of a character, of a trailer. When the movies come out, I don't care if it's a major character or a minor character. Once that movie comes out, books have been dropping off the face of the earth. They go down significantly, at least 25 to 35%, right? I think the hobby has seen a lot of speculation in the last 2 years, from, like we talked about, social media to YouTube videos. Every person has their own theories, which makes this hobby great and it makes it fun, right? For the most part, listen, we get a hunch, we go with it, a character pops, right? Selling wise, speculation, we got a ton of shows coming out, which means books are going to get hot, they're going to drop. It's going to be the next character, the next show, the next character, the next show, up and down in waves, right? So I think we see the speculation world slow down a little bit, especially with people, making their own decisions, people that just got back into the hobby like Guy and a ton of other people since COVID. Listen, this is what everybody has their own opinion. Everybody has their own speculation. Like I said, that's what makes this hobby great. But I think buyers are starting to realize, man, they're buying, they bought the Shang-Chi at an all-time high during the announcement of Shang-Chi, during the first trailer. Once the movie came out, that book dived, man. Matt has said it before, so be careful what you buy, guys. Don't buy at all-time highs. People are looking at Daredevil now. The book's at its all-time high. Wait for that trailer to drop. Wait for the movie to come out. Then go grab that book if you're a real comic book collector. You know what I mean? So, Matt, what's your opinion?
I think you nailed it. The one thing I would add is that I think that 2022, and it may still take a few months, but by the end of 2022, I feel like we're definitely going to get back to a little bit of a tightening up of that speculation market. Like you said, I think speculators we're going to lose the fringe speculator, right? The people that were just basically just buying everything, specking on everything. And it was just it was putting mud in the water. Okay. I think you're going to lose out on that. The smart speculator has started to become very cautious about what they're buying and when they're buying it, just like Jay said. So I think you're going to start to see that really tighten up, and the speculation market is going to become a little bit clearer, a little bit cleaner. You're not going to just have speculation splattered all over the wall. I think it's definitely going to get back closer to what it was in 2019 and even early 2020, and a lot less of what we saw in 2021. So if you're a speculator or you want to be a speculator, hold on tight. Don't, hold your water. Don't get too excited. Things are going to start to calm down a little bit. And I think you're going to see a little bit. And I think it all ties together. What we talked about at the beginning with the comic book prices, and even what Guy talked about with the movies, I think it all plays into each other. If you've noticed the common theme, we've talked about the whole hobby just about, but they've all tied into each other. And I think that's really important to remember. So,
Yeah, listen. I mean, you guys, listen. You know what you're talking about, and it's nice to sit here and get back to discussing some things after a little hiatus and a little family time the last month or so. So it's good to be back, sitting, talking about stuff, discussing some stuff that obviously all of you come to talk about too. So it's everyone is all we're all affected by all of this. So it's fun to sit here and go over everything and get back into the swing of things. So.
all right, boys and girls, we're going to get out of here. Before you leave, I'm going to remind you that we talked about it last night on the live show, the 7,500 subscriber giveaway. Basically, we're going to pick a random comment from a random video. We're going to probably have 4, 5, 6 prizes. We don't know what they are yet. So the more videos you comment on, you're better the chances of winning. And while you're throwing a comment in the comments, why don't you hit that thumbs up and hit the subscribe button too. All right. So, next week, new Comic Book Day show, Monday, and then Thursday will be another video. So for the Pressable Defects, we'll catch you on the next Defects Discuss.